Hello, I'm Cameron Walker and you're watching GBN Royal. Today we're taking you on a journey to the heart of London where tradition meets precision in a spectacular display of military pageantry. Get ready to witness the annual ceremonial inspection of the London Central Garrison and the bands of the Household Division, a sure sign that summer is just around the corner. Picture this, the iconic London royal landmarks, Buckingham Palace, St James's Palace and the rest of them, dotted with soldiers in their cosy Athol grey greatcoats, suddenly bursting with a vibrant sea of scarlet. It's not magic though, it's the annual inspection by Major General James Bowder, the General Officer commanding the Household Division. Now you might be wondering, wait a minute, it's still pretty chilly out there and it's not only just spring. And you'd be right, this splash of colour is just a teaser, a one-day event that gives us a glimpse of the summer to come. Don't worry, those warm grey coats will be back on duty very soon, keeping our guards toasty until the official uniform change takes place when the clocks go forward. Let's talk about what's really going on here. This is clearly British pomp and pageantry in action. I'm sure there's a few tourists who take a shine to a few of the very handsome soldiers in their red tunics. But there is a very serious meaning behind their ceremonial drill. Major General Bowder isn't just checking out their fashion sense, funnily enough, he's making sure these troops are ready for a jam-packed year of royal duties. Everything from guarding the king to participating in state visits. Remember, President Trump of the United States is expected to come to the UK for an unprecedented second state visit during his term in office. These are the guards who will be welcoming him. Commemorating, of course, the 80th anniversary of victory in Europe and Japan this summer, and to the grand spectacle of the King's birthday parade. It's a tall order and every detail counts. Now let me walk you through this high pressure day. It's like the Olympics of military precision and every company has its moments in the spotlight. First up, bright and early, very early, around 8 o'clock in the morning we had to be there, was the Irish Guards, both the 9th and the 12th Company, showing what they're made of. Next it was the Coldstream Guards, followed by the Scots Guards, and last but not least, the Grenadier Guards. And actually, the Coldstream Guards have a very important anniversary this year. It's their 375th. They are also going to be trooping their colour in front of the King in June. But here's the kicker, it's not just standing still. These soldiers and officers need to know their stuff. They're also quizzed on military history, and it can be quite intense. Now let's pull back the curtain here and take a look at the unsung heroes of this whole operation, the military tailors. These are soldiers who've become master tailors, rivaling the best in London. Imagine the pressure. Every uniform has to fit perfectly. Every medal, every button, every regimental symbol has to be placed with surgical precision. The guardsmen themselves have been hard at work as well. Boots had to be polished for weeks to achieve this mirror-like shine on their shoes. And we're not just talking about the parts that you can see, even the soles are expected to be spotless. The bearskin hats, the big black fluffy things they have on their heads, they have to be groomed to perfection. Belt buckles and buttons have to be polished as well, so they practically glow in the dark. And you may be thinking, what is all this fuss about uniforms? Does it really matter? Is it really necessary? But here's the thing, the attention to detail isn't just about looking good for the tourists, it's about discipline, precision and excellence. Qualities that the army claims translates directly onto the battlefield. These same soldiers who stand guard at Buckingham Palace today could be deployed to the Falkland Islands, Kenya or Belize tomorrow. And remember, the Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer is considering sending peacekeeping troops to Ukraine when the war ends. Their ability to maintain their equipment and pay attention to the smallest details could mean the difference between life and death in a combat situation. So the big day arrived and the Major General arrived and the inspection began and the atmosphere was tense. Some people could say you could cut it with a knife. There were tourists watching from beyond the gates as well at Wellington Barracks, just a stone's throw away from Buckingham Palace. And to me, in the untrained eye, they looked incredibly well turned out and their drill was mastered with perfection. But every little note was written down on a clipboard for the Major General to look at in the future. And it's not a guarantee that these foot soldiers are going to pass their inspection. If they don't, I don't know what would happen, but I suspect they won't be parading for the King's birthday parade in June. But to avoid that happening, of course, these companies have practiced and prepared relentlessly. They were ready to show the Major General and the world what the Household Division was made of. As I said at the beginning, these soldiers weren't just preparing for a single day of scrutiny, they're gearing up for a summer full of pageantry and tradition, promoting Britain on the world stage. As impressive as today's display was, it's back to reality this week because those scarlet tunics will be carefully packed away and the great coats, the grey ones, will be back out. Until, of course, the clocks go forward, which is at the end of the month, I believe. And there you have it, a behind-the-scenes look at one of the most rigorous and spectacular military inspections in the world. It's a testament to the dedication, skill, and sheer determination of the men and women of the Household Division. From the meticulous tailors to the steadfast guards, from the polished boots to the gleaming brass, every element of this inspection speaks to a tradition of excellence that has stood the test of time. As we sign off, remember, the next time you see a guard standing perfectly still outside Buckingham Palace, you're not just looking at a tourist attraction. You're witnessing the result of months of preparation, centuries of tradition, and an unwavering commitment to duty. Here is a highlights reel of what took place at Wellington Barracks this week.
Kick! March!
Summers started early for the Household Division, donning their red tunics a few weeks before the clock change for an annual inspection, making sure they're ready to represent Brand Britain on the world stage.
So make sure on that mark time that these are fully up straight away.
For weeks, guardsmen have waxed their boots, polished their buckles, bearskins groomed and cleaned, exceptional attention to detail. Here's Lieutenant Colonel Charlie Foynet, Brigade Major of the Household Division.
It may seem that what we're doing here is a million miles away from what fighting soldiers do in the field, but these are fighting soldiers. Discipline, attention to detail, really are the hallmarks of a decent soldier.
All this at a time the Prime Minister's considering sending peacekeeping troops to Ukraine. The Princess of Wales's regiment, the Irish Guards, were first onto the parade ground at Wellington Barracks, followed by the Coldstream Guards, trooping their colour this year in front of the King and celebrating their 375th anniversary.
Show off the hard work of the last couple of months of getting ready for this. Make sure you show yourselves off.
It's these guardsmen who could be welcoming President Donald Trump during his unprecedented second state visit to the UK. And some of them will be taking part in commemorations this summer, marking 80 years since the end of the Second World War.
I just wanted to express, on behalf of the nation, my heartfelt gratitude for the extraordinarily valuable contributions and personal sacrifices that you and your families continue to make in the name of duty.
The King takes his role as head of the armed forces very seriously. Earlier this week, he visited British aircraft carrier HMS Prince of Wales, calling it a powerful emblem of the Royal Navy's strength. And his Household Division will show its strength during the King's birthday parade in June. But beneath the pomp and pageantry, battle-ready soldiers are always on guard in an uncertain world. Cameron Walker, GB News in London. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Cameron Walker for GBM Royal. Don't forget to subscribe for more Royal updates.